Hey everybody, and welcome to the Copywriting Secrets Masterclass, the insider's guide to finding the right words that make people buy from you no matter what you sell. I'm your host, Jim Edwards. Get ready for about an hour and a half in this particular lesson of a whole lot of stuff coming at you that's going to make a big difference for you. So I just want to tell you real quick how the class is structured. I'm going to share my thoughts on what has made copywriting work for me for the last 25 years. I won't go in order. In other words, and I think I told you guys, ultimately, one of the ways I'm going to publish this material is it's going to become my book, Copywriting Secrets, that I'm going to then use to help promote the funnel script software. And so just be aware that these may not be in order. I will share as much as I can, and we may add sessions. I can tell you right now, we're going to be adding sessions. I wrote this little line when I was feeling real confident that I could share everything in 3 sessions. And there's just no way that I can share all this value in just 3 sessions. It ain't going to happen. This is not for copywriters, though they may learn some cool stuff. This is for people like you and me. I want to share with you the stuff that I've learned on how to sell people stuff. This is not, though, I'm not trying to be John Caples or David Ogilvy or Eugene Schwartz or Gary Halbert or any of those guys. That's not the purpose here, is to create the graduate level thing. This is the down and dirty handbook that you guys can use. And does that sound more like what you're looking for? I'm just curious. The mass majority of you here, are you looking for something that's like PhD level, or do you want something down and dirty you can use right away? Let me know, because that's what this is going to be. So feel free. Okay, awesome. Everybody see, I know you're my people. Y'all want that down and dirty stuff because y'all are saying, oh my God, you guys are killing me already. This is great. So feel free to ask questions, and we are going to have a Lollapalooza Q&A in the last session. So I'm not going to answer questions at the end of this or as we go through, but I will answer your questions in the last training. So just be aware of that. And I'll just tell you right up front, the reason I'm not going to be answering questions during it is because that interrupts the flow, and I'm just total transparency here, that this, along with the, I've already done 10 of these secrets in an interview that is posted for you guys. It's posted in my members area, and it'll be posted in the 2 Comma Club X area, hopefully ASAP. And so just to let you know, 10 of the secrets are already done. You can download them in MP3. So we've just got a ton of stuff going on here for you. All of it good, all of it awesome. And as Russell likes to say, is it okay if we over-deliver? So now this is where the banter at the beginning stops and the training starts. So here you go. So this will be cut out of the initial thing. Okay, here we go. So what is copywriting? And you may be sitting there wondering to yourself, okay, what is copywriting? Because there's all kinds of different things that it might be. So here's my definition of copywriting. In a nutshell, sales copywriting is anything intended to persuade the right reader, viewer, or listener to take a specific action. Now, I want you to think about that real quick. Anything intended to persuade the right reader, viewer, or listener to take a specific action. Now, online or offline, these actions typically include clicking a link or making an inquiry for more information. If you think about sales copy, the way most people think about it is you're trying to get somebody to click a buy button. You're trying to get somebody to fill out a form. You're trying to get somebody to buy something online or through the mail. You're trying to get them to pick up the phone and dial a phone number. You're trying to get them to go to a physical location such as a store, or you're trying to get them to fill out a form to register for something. That's typically 99 times out of 100 what you're going to be trying to do when it comes to getting people to take action as a result of your sales copy. Click a link, buy something, pick up the phone, go to a physical location, or fill out a form to register for something. That's pretty much it. And so sales copy can include anything from 3-line newspaper ads to 40-page sales letters posted on the web, 30-minute infomercial videos, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and just about anything in between can be and should be considered sales copy. So if you want to get good at sales copy, what you're saying is you want to get good at enticing people to click links, fill out forms, and spend money, which, by the way, is a very good thing to get good at. So just understand, guys, that you don't want to make this more complicated than it is. Meaning most people see copywriting as this really, really complicated thing that takes years to master, that takes decades to get a handle on, and they make it this big, complicated mess in their head, where the bottom line is sales copy is anything you put out there in front of people where you're trying to get them to click stuff, fill out forms, and spend money. And when you think about sales copy that way, it becomes a whole lot less daunting, because it should be. It's not, this is not rocket science, okay? So what makes copywriting different from regular writing? And the answer is less than you think. Most people think that copywriting is like this different way of thinking and writing, and it's very distinct, and there are specific patterns. And the people who think that are sometimes right. Other times they're completely wrong. And from my experience, the best copywriting people don't realize it's copy. That should probably have a comma in there. But when it comes to copywriting, the best copywriting you're ever going to see is copywriting that people don't even realize it's copy because it's totally interesting to them. And, you know, I used to read sales letters that came in the mail when they called them free reports. And it's funny to think about the fact that back in the day, you would request a free report. It was nothing but a 10, 20, 30-page sales letter. But because it was on a topic that you were interested in, you didn't see it as sales copy. You saw it as a free report. And so what it comes down to is if people are interested in it, they're going to read it and not think about the fact that it's trying to sell them something. Now, what makes people pay attention? What makes people want to read and not think about the sales message? Well, your content addresses their fears, it speaks to their desires, it uses words that they use, and it feels like a conversation with a friend or a trusted advisor. I think a lot of people also think that sales copy is something that magically makes people do stuff they wouldn't ordinarily want to do. But the reality is that people love to buy stuff. That's why everybody has hellacious credit card bills. That's why everybody has made Amazon like the #1 site in the world where people buy stuff. People love to buy stuff, but it's like the old axiom of people love to buy, they hate to be sold. So people buy when they know or they feel like something's going to make them feel better. It's going to help them get what they want. And it uses words that they're familiar with. Again, like a conversation with a friend or a trusted advisor. So really, copywriting comes down to intention. What do I want someone to do as a result of reading or watching or listening to what I'm creating? And with that in mind, sales copy can be a tweet, it can be an article, it could be a content video, it could be a Facebook Live, it could be a meme, it can be anything that you put in front of a targeted prospect can be sales copy, because you're putting value in front of them. And then you're inviting them to take the next step, which is to buy stuff they want to buy anyway. So a lot of people would ask, how much has the art or science of copywriting changed over the years? And that graphic right there is actually a reprint of the sales, or the sales catalog from Sears and Roebuck from back in 1900. That was reprinted actually in 1970. That's why it says $3.95 on it. But here's what's changed, because people have been buying stuff since people invented money. And people have been bartering before they came up with money. The way people talk has changed. That has changed. In some ways, maybe not for the better. Formal words that people used to use have changed. The way people addressed one another. I'll make a little side comment here that I think people used to be a little bit more respectful of people's feelings and of people's perspectives, culturally and otherwise. Not in all cases, but people had manners. If you go to the mall and listen to a bunch of teenagers hanging out in front of various stores, you will see that manners have escaped many. But enough on my little side rant there. The way people talk has changed. They don't talk the same. But the thing to understand is that people have the exact same amount of time now that they did 200 years ago. But they have 100 more things fighting for their attention. And those are things like social media, regular mail, TV, radio, communication devices like text, instant messenger, cell phones, all of those things. And all of those things are competing for a finite amount of attention that people can pay. It's like a well. We all feel that way at the end of the day, at least I do, that my attention span has just been drained. And that's when we say things like, I'm just done. So it's not that people are stupid. It's not that people are lazy. It's not that people have just magically become dumber. What it means is that people have more things fighting for their attention, and we need to know that with our copy. And so now you have to use a lot more curiosity to stop people in their tracks to get them to pay attention to you. And there's a lot less buildup before you get to the point. I have a neighbor, my next door neighbor actually. He's an old Southern guy, was raised in the South, super cool dude, builder, built my house, has built several places for me. And he is old school, meaning when you talk to him, before you can get down to business, you got to do like 20 minutes of warm up. Hey, how's the family? What's going on? Talk about the weather, talk about politics, talk about the neighborhood, talk about this, talk about that. And then finally, at some point, there's this deep breath, and then you get to, okay, so what are we going to do here in this particular area? That's the way people used to be a lot more, but people aren't that way anymore. So when it comes to copywriting, again, you gotta dispense with a lot of the warm-up that you used to do, and you just gotta grab them, get their attention with curiosity, and then drive them to make the point. Drive them to the point, whatever it is that you're trying to make. So how has copywriting stayed the same? Well, people are still people. I fully believe that people want to buy. And you need to have the attitude that, you know what? If people understand what the benefit is of my product or service or software or whatever it is, they're going to want to buy it. It's my job. It's my responsibility as the person creating the copy to be a great communicator to quickly explain to them why they need what I need. It's your responsibility. The other thing is that people still have hopes, fears, and dreams. They've always had hopes, fears, and dreams, and they always will have hopes, fears, and dreams. They love things. They hate things. They have opinions. And the better you understand the people in your niche, the more money you'll make and the happier they're going to be. Now, I want to take a little side trip here real quick about your niche. And you'll hear people when they talk about copywriting and they talk about writing ads and they talk about all targeting and all this stuff. They talk about their niche. But most people, when they talk about their niche, talk about numbers and they talk about psychographics or demographics. And they often lose sight of the fact that the people in the niche are actually the niche. And so you need to understand the people. Yeah, it's good to know all the numbers and all that other stuff. And yeah, that's important. But you need to understand the people, the person, each individual person in your niche, and the ideal person in your niche, which we will talk about when we talk about your avatar, whom your avatar I like to call Fred, by the way. And the thing you need to understand is that these are people. They have hopes, they have dreams, they have worries. They are just like you, okay? They want time off. They want to take care of their children. They worry about the future. They stress out over their credit card bills. They want to have a really, really nice car. They want to provide a great house and future for their family. All these things that are important to them. You need to know what's important to them because you're selling to people. You're not selling to a niche. Another thing you need to understand about copywriting is there's no prize for second place. Your copy either works or you starve. Now, wait a minute. Damn, Jim, that was kind of like a smack in the mouth. What do you mean? What I mean is you don't make money when someone says, hey, great sales letter. Hey, I loved your video. And that's nice to hear that, but unfortunately, that don't spend. You make money when you're the one who gets people to click, who gets people to buy, and who gets people to opt in. That's it. So you don't go halfway with your copy, meaning you're just kind of like, well, I'll just do something and see how it works. No, you have to put forth a really strong effort. Now, there are tools like funnel scripts that can help you. There are tools like my wizards that can help you. But the bottom line is you've got to be serious about this. You can't just do it half-assed, because if you do, you're going to get a half-assed result. I'm going to tell you real quick my story about copywriting, because I think it's important that you understand where I came from as far as this progression to where we are here today. And I will tell you right up front, I do not consider myself a professional copywriter. I do not write copy for other people, but I do create professional level copy that I use to sell my own stuff. So that's the difference. So the thing you need to understand is that nobody is born writing sales copy except maybe Ron Popeil, the dude who did the Pocket Fisherman and the Showtime Rotisserie, which I love, by the way. I use mine all the time. Or the Inside the Egg Scrambler. That dude is just a freak of nature as far as his ability to create offers, create copy, invent products, and do all those things. And you and I were not born knowing how to write sales copy. But the great news is that's a skill that can be learned. So the early years, I used to design flyers for parties for my fraternity in college, which actually was pretty high pressure because if we couldn't get people to show up to the parties, I was the social chairman of my fraternity for 3 years. If we couldn't get people to show up to the parties, we were kind of screwed. I would lose my job as the social chairman and all the privileges that came along with that. I also wrote ads for the mortgage bank that I worked for, and I was pretty good at it. The problem is that they would never run the ads that I wrote because the compliance department absolutely hated me. I wanted to use words that banks didn't think were good or good words to use in banks or in ads, and it was just kind of pathetic. And one of the reasons why I stopped working for the bank. But every week, my branch manager would ask me to write an ad, and I had to have it to her by Wednesday so she could send it over, and then it had to get through the compliance department so it could run on the weekend. And finally, after about 6 weeks of doing this, the head of the compliance department called and says, look, we can tell when Jim's writing the ads and when somebody else is writing the ads. And you might as well stop sending us Jim's ads because we're not going to run them. And so that was kind of an inauspicious beginning. But the reason for that is that there were so many laws about what you could and couldn't say that these people were totally gun shy. But anyway, so I started selling online in 1997 with decent results, but nothing to really write home about. And at the time I started selling online, I was actually bankrupt and living in a trailer park at that time after a bunch of really bad business decisions. But here's the thing. You can't learn how to make great decisions until you make bad decisions, right? So I wasn't setting the world on fire, but I was making money. And then I had a realization. In the fall of 2000, I decided that if I was ever going to get out of that trailer park, and I had been there at the time, I'd been there for 6 years, something had to change. And the thing that had to change was my ability to persuade people to buy from me. And the way I was going to persuade people to buy from me was by running better ads and writing better copy for the web. So in the fall of 2000, I literally made the conscious decision to get really good at putting words on paper to get people to buy stuff. And I literally made a conscious decision. I was sitting, if you look at the graphic right there, I was sitting in the little office that I had in that spare bedroom with that window right there that actually had a crack in it. I decided I was going to get really good and do whatever it took. So I became a student of sales copy, literally. And I read all the classics I could get my hands on, including Scientific Advertising, My Life in Advertising, all these different books, which I will give you a reading list that you can check out some of the classics that I recommend. And I just started writing and testing copy everywhere I could do it. And I did it for myself, and I did it for a few real estate agents. And I'd put something up, I'd see what happened. And a lot of times nothing would happen, but sometimes something good happened. And instead of just kind of chalking it up to luck, I paid attention to what was working and kept doing that. Stopped doing what wasn't working and never stopped studying good copy. So I went to work for a company in the summer of 2000 or the fall of 2000 and ended up writing a sales letter for my boss to sell a $97 CD-ROM. That's an actual picture of it right there. I dug that out of my archives. I was like, damn. And just as an aside, nothing to do with copywriting, but I figured out how to create the CD. I figured out how to do the screen capture video, which way back in 2001 was a huge deal. And I wrote the sales letter for this thing and made $100,000 for the company in 3 months, which may or may not sound like a lot. But it was a big deal to the company. And then he fired me in June of 2001. So I figured out how to create a 6-figure funnel for this guy in less than 90 days. And then he fired me just after we had moved out of the trailer and bought our little house and hadn't even made the first house payment yet. So here I am with my fledgling ability to write sales copy in a house that I'm up to my neck in, no job, and feeling pretty nervous. I have to be honest with you. And so I got home, I'll never forget, it was a Friday in June. And my wife said, you basically have 30 days to make this work. And by the way, if you could just make a third of what you made for him, we'll be fine. I was working for this guy making $18,000 a year. He was paying me $1,500 a month. That's where I was in my life as far as my ability to just have self-worth and all this other stuff. I was making $1,500 a month I created a 6-figure funnel for this guy, and then he fired me. So over the next few weeks, I wrote or co-wrote 3 different sales letters, and I made more money in the last 4 months of 2001 than I made the previous 4 years combined. And we ended up paying off the little house that we bought, that we moved out of from the trailer. We paid that off within 18 months of when we bought it. So that's the power of knowing how to write great sales copy. And sales copy changed my life, and it can change your life too. This is the house I live in now. It's actually 7,000 square feet. And I love the picture of it in winter. That's the picture of the back. And the reason I love the picture of it in winter so much is that little trailer was so cold that I would sit in that back bedroom. We had 4 dogs at the time. And I would sit back there with 2 chihuahuas in my lap because it was so cold. They were keeping me warm. And I would sit there and work on my computer and never giving up on my dream of making all of this stuff work. So I'm telling you, I am living proof that learning how to write really good sales copy can change your life no matter where you are. So, copywriting secret. The most valuable skill you'll ever learn is copywriting. And that's the secret I want to share with you right now. The most valuable skill you'll ever learn is copywriting. And people ask, is it worth learning how to write copy, or should I just outsource it to somebody else? And the answer to that is yes. You need to be able to do both. However, I think Gary Halbert said it best. He said, which brings me to a crucial point. If you are in need of truly world-class copywriting, you're probably going to have to learn to do it yourself. You see, the few of us who really can do it, write copy that sells, are so much in demand, you can't even think about hiring us unless you're willing to spend an arm and a leg. And even then, you'll still have to wait in line. Now think about that. One of the greatest copywriters in history is telling you, and who wrote copy for other people for big, big bucks, is telling you you ought to learn how to do it yourself, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and you're going to have to wait forever to get that copy back from the copywriter. So why should I learn to write sales copy when I can outsource it? Because you hear that a lot now, especially with different schools of thought. Why should I write sales copy when I can outsource it? Well, we all need to get good at writing sales copy for several reasons. The first one is speed. All right. If you need it fast, it's expensive. It's a real different to hire somebody to write a sales letter for you when they can fit it into their schedule and you can get it in 2 to 4 weeks, rather than saying, hey, I need a sales letter by next week. And they're like, okay, here we go. That sounds great. I'll be glad to charge you my next week prices. The other thing is you don't want to be held hostage. Whenever somebody else is doing a critical business task for you, you are held hostage. Even if they're benevolent in their hostage taking, they still have you by the shorties, and there's not much you can do about it. Here's the other thing. If you're not good at writing sales copy, you don't know if it's good or not. Honestly, if you don't know, you don't know. So how do you know if it's any good or not? If you don't know whether copy's good or not. The other reason you need to get good at writing sales copy is control, so that you can make changes on the fly. Here's the reality. Sometimes it takes longer to explain the changes you need somebody to make than to just do them yourself. And I can tell you from my direct experience that no matter what you get back from a professional copywriter, you're going to have to make changes. They're basically, whether they are giving you their first draft, their third draft, their fifth draft, you're still gonna have to make changes, because they don't know your business, they don't know your niche, they don't know your product, they don't know everything as well as you do. So you're still going to have to work on it. And it's going to cost you more money to get somebody to rewrite something that's not working. And the reality is that when you hire somebody to write copy for you, they're going to write copy for you. Is it going to work? You don't know till you run it. But whether it works or not, you still have to pay them money. So again, you better be able to know whether copy's good or not if you're going to hire somebody. And we'll talk a lot more in another secret about how to actually hire somebody to write copy for you. So when it comes to good sales copy, here's what you need to be able to do. You need to be able to create it, you need to be able to recognize it, and you need to be able to apply those principles in everything you do. See, you can't isolate copywriting as just, oh, that's copywriting. That's when you need a sales letter made, or that's when you need a video sales letter script done, or that's just when we need ads. I don't do copywriting. I'm the owner of the business. I'm the author. I'm the creator. I'm the manager of this whole process. Bullshit. You need to be able to create great copy, because being good at sales copy helps you with content creation, speaking, webinars, Facebook Live. Basically everything you're going to do, it all spills over into all these different areas, and it helps you sell more. You need to have a copywriting mindset, because that's how you know to say things like, okay, it's like a dual thinking path. So you're sitting there doing your Facebook Live video and you're talking about the 3 things or the 3 ways or the big secret to this. And then all of a sudden you're getting to the end, and you need to be able, in the back of your mind, while you're still talking, say something like, okay, it's time for the close. So now I need to say something cool to invite them over here to do this. So let me give them a benefit, and then let me give them an invitation statement. And you're saying to yourself, damn, Jen, will I really be able to do that? Yes, you can. You're just developing the mindset of being in that copywriting mindset. So an example of that might be, hey, and so those are the 3 reasons why you have to get really, really good at copy. And by the way, if you want a really cool shortcut to be able to create amazing headlines, I'd like to invite you to check out Funnel Scripts at funnelscripts.com, where we have a really cool, about 60-minute training you can watch where we teach you some great things about copy, and you can see a demo of an amazing tool that gives you over 50 different copywriting hacks to do everything from sales letters to headlines to bullets to video sales letters to stealth closes and more. Go ahead and check it out. That is what you need to be able to do. And the way you get that way is, number 1, you focus on it. Number 2, you practice. Number 3, pay attention to the results that you get. So you can't just think, okay, I don't need to know anything about sales copy because I can just outsource it. That's stupid. So if you think that, you're being stupid. And I know that's really bad to call your customer stupid, but you probably won't have read this far and still be thinking that. So I'm not calling you stupid. I'm calling the other people stupid. It's us against them, which, by the way, is a really cool secret. You need to be good at sales copy first. Then you can choose what you do and what somebody else does. But you need to be good at it. So the bottom line is, it's all about knowing how to apply those principles and being able to apply them. That makes a huge difference in your business. Now, you might be asking, okay, I'm sold. I want to get good at copy. Jim, what's the best way to get good at copy fast? And I would tell you, it's just like getting good at pull-ups or getting into shape. Now that image right there is of my very well-used pull-up bar that is in my garage. And you can see, those of you who are here looking at it live, I don't know how well that will translate into print, so this may or may not be there. But that puppy is used. Somebody asked me one time, is that blood on there? And I say, yes, there is some blood on that bar. But it's just like getting good at pull-ups or getting into shape. First, you got to make a commitment. Second, you got to practice. And third, you got to do it every single day. It's not something that you turn on and off. This is something that you become. You have the copywriting mindset. That's how you do it. So it's commitment, practice, and doing it every single day. So here's how you do it. Here's the roadmap. Make the commitment to get good at it, and then do it and practice it. And before you can be great, you got to be good. Before you can be good, you got to be bad. And before you can be bad, you just have to try. You got to do something. Then what you need to do is pay attention to and measure your results. What's working and what's not. It's just like with working out. I can tell you for the last 6 years, every rep, every push-up, every mile down to the second, how long it took me to run each one, and the total number of exercises and circuits and everything else. Why? To be able to measure the progress and the results. That's the only reason why. And you've got to do the exact same thing. Then you do what works and you stop doing what doesn't work. But the only way you're going to know the difference is to do a bunch of it. But the great thing about the web, especially, and social media and cheap traffic and all this stuff, you can do so much so fast and get feedback not in weeks, not in months, not even in days, but you can get feedback instantly on whether what you're doing is working or not. It's an amazing opportunity right now to get super good at copywriting just because you can get so much feedback so fast. Then what you want to do is study people who are doing it the right way. And that means you have mentors. It means these are people who are teaching you in print, in books, things like that. And then there's always live coaching. But you got to study people who are doing it the right way. It's just like working out. When I made a super commitment to get in awesome shape, I went and found the best coach that I could find who I believed would be able to help me accomplish my objectives. There's a Navy SEAL named Stu Smith. And this guy trains people to go into the special forces, Navy SEAL, to Green Beret, to MARSOC or Raiders now in the Marine Corps, rescue parajumpers in the Air Force. And I went to him and had him coach me. He coaches me to this day and has gotten me to a level where when I first started working out, I could only do one pull-up. Now I can do 23 pull-ups in a row without stopping, which somebody would tell you for a 50-year-old guy is pretty almost impossible. It's the same thing with writing copy. You got to learn to flex those muscles. You may not be capable of writing $1 million sales letter, but with enough practice, you can create $1 million sales letter a lot faster than you even think possible. The other thing you can do is learn with your wallet. Now, this is not to say you go out and spend a crap ton of money on a bunch of courses and stuff on how to write copy. But what it means is that you pay attention to what copy either makes or made you spend money in the past. Think about it. If copy makes you come across with money, somebody's sales letter, somebody's funnel, somebody's video sales letter, somebody's video on Facebook that leads to an order form, if that made you spend money, you need to dissect that because you need to learn what works with you. Here's the reality. All of us are members of our own target market. 999 times out of 1,000, you are a member of the target market that you are going after, or you were a member of the target market that you're now trying to help. So if it makes you spend money, it's good copy, and you need to pay really, really close attention to it. Now, you might be asking, how long does it take you to become an expert at copywriting? And I'm going to give you the answer that might piss some people off, and that is it's a lifetime commitment. It doesn't just happen. You don't reach that point. I've met some copywriters who are quote unquote masters, and to be honest with you, they're kind of egotistical and they give off the aura of don't talk to me because I'm super, super cool. And it's a bit of a turnoff. But the thing that you need to understand is that it's a never ending process. You don't get into you don't get into shape and then decide one day, okay, well, I'm in shape, I'm good for the rest of my life, because within a month of eating nothing but bonbons and beer and cake and steak and all those other things, you're going to undo years of hard work, or you could. So the thing to understand, though, is that even though it's a process of developing and keeping that copywriting mindset, you really can hack the process. So here's your hack. You do it in stages. In other words, you don't need to master everything. What you need to do if you want to get super good is to do certain things in a certain order. First thing you need to do is get really good at headlines. You need to become amazing at creating headlines. Now, shameless plug. Funnel scripts will help you to become amazing with headlines in about a day. You can spend weeks and months developing your own swipe files and all this other stuff, or you can literally plug your stuff into the swipe files and wisdom of the ages when it comes to headlines using funnel scripts. The choice really is up to you. But the number one skill you got to have as far as copywriting to be able to become an expert is to get really good at headlines. Then you need to get really good at bullets. Now, why do you need to get really good at headlines and then really good at bullets? Because every single piece of copy you ever write in your life will have a headline. Either the first words people see when they get to a page, the first words that come out of your mouth in a video sales letter, the title of your posts on Facebook, and everything else are done with the principles of effective headlines. And then bullets are used to create pressure in people to get them to take the action you want them to take, usually with either benefits or with curiosity. And we have another secret where we talk about the ultimate bullet formula, so I'm not going to get into that here. But just by getting awesome at headlines and bullets, you will be so far ahead of your competition, it's not even funny. It's almost pathetic. Then you need to get really good at calls to action. And then you need to get really good at explaining offers. And this is the order in which you need to get good at this. Because you might think to yourself, well, gee, Jim, I need to get good at explaining my offer first. No, you don't. Because if your headlines suck, nobody's going to pay attention to your offer. So if you've got an amazing headline that grabs people's attention, if you've got amazing bullets that build pressure and grab people with curiosity, if you've got an amazing, effective call to action, then your offer can kind of really suck, and you're going to make a lot more money than if your headlines suck and everything else is perfect. So that's why I tell you to do this in stages, because that's how you're going to be able to become an expert and develop that copywriting mindset a whole lot faster. All right, copywriting secret, the one and only purpose of an online ad. So the one and only purpose of an online ad is to stop people in their tracks and get them to click. Anything else you've ever heard about the purpose of online ads as far as branding or any of the other BS that people will tell you is absolutely untrue. The only purpose of an online ad is to get the right people to stop and click. That's it. So you've seen those ads, right? You've seen those ads on Facebook or other sites. the courses that promise to teach you the magic formula for writing ads. They've got the ad that's going to make you rich. And you used to see the TV infomercials where they had the idea of tiny ads, big profits. The secret for writing ads to get more coaching, the secret for writing ads to get more consulting or product sales. They promise to teach you to write the perfect ad that will bring in an avalanche of customers on social media, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Google AdWords. They play on your hidden desires that if you could just figure out that one perfect ad, you'd make a pile of cash. They promise to deliver. Their promises to deliver are even more enticing because you've probably failed more than you've succeeded in the past running ads without their magic formula. Well, here's the thing. If we're being honest, you secretly hate them for their success. How do you feel about those people whose ads you see telling you that basically you're stupid and they know how to create amazing ads and you don't? Or at least, how do you feel about them when you see the quote unquote success they show you in pictures on Facebook? Their cars, their houses, the beautiful women or beautiful men that they're with, the crazy vacations they're taking, the screenshots of their income and their Stripe account. How do you feel about them? But in the back of your head, you also wonder, are they good at running ads for everything, or are they just good at running ads on Facebook for a high-priced course on how to run ads, which is usually the case. So if that sounds at all like your experience, then trust me, you're not alone. And they're basically playing on your real experience. And I've been there too. And because of that, I'm going to share with you a few thoughts I've learned over the last 25 years of running ads online. Now, the first truth about ads, and I'm going to tell you in this secret 5 truths about ads. It's like 5 secrets within a secret. And if that isn't over delivering, I don't know what is. So the only purpose of an online ad, again, is to get the right people to click your link. I would rather have 100 of the right people click my link than 10,000 people who aren't the right fit. Because that's how you waste money on ads. Don't pay attention to the fact that you've gotten a crap ton of clicks. Pay attention to the fact that you got a crap ton of the right clicks. Because again, if you're targeted, if you're going after the right kind of people, you're actually going to pay a lot less money. You're going to pay a lot less money because a lot fewer people are going to click on your ad. But if more of the right people are clicking, your costs typically go down dramatically and quickly because you're not sending the wrong people through to whatever your landing page is. The truth about ads number 2 is curiosity is key. Curiosity is the number one way that you get the right people to click. And I'm going to show you some examples here in just a minute. If you can make someone curious with your ad, you'll get the click. That's it. Make them curious. The whole purpose of an ad is to get the right people to click. And in our attention deficit, attention starved world, where people are giving you less and less time simply because they just don't have time to pay attention, the number one thing that will get anybody to click your ad is curiosity. Now, the truth about ads number 3. If you don't know where to start writing an ad, here's your secret. Ask a question. That's all you got to do. And there are 3 basic questions that have served me very well in this arena since before the turn of the century. I love saying that. I love saying that I've been doing this since before the turn of the century. This has been working, which is absolutely true. Are you tired of blank? Would you like to blank? Have you ever wanted to blank? That is how you grab attention of the right people in your target niche, and you instantly eliminate the people who are not the right people or are not in your target niche. Are you tired of struggling to get traffic to your website? Would you like to write your own book? Would you like to write and publish your own book? Have you ever wanted to be an author? And here's the thing. If they say yes, then you've grabbed their attention, and then you can use curiosity to get them to click. If they say no, they're not going to click your ad, so it ain't going to cost you anything. Is that like an awesome win-win bonus? Of course it is. So ask them if they're tired of being in pain or living in fear. Ask them if they'd like to get a powerful benefit or a cool payoff. Ask them if they've ever wanted to do something cool. And these are the best places to start when you're writing ads, especially if you've never written a bunch of ads before. Just ask a question. And you can even just use the questions as your headlines in your ads. Is that cool or what? So a little side note, a little side story for you. I saw a graphical ad on Facebook the other day that just absolutely blew my mind. And it was a way to run an ad. Just side note, currently on Facebook, when you run graphical ads or run a graphic in an ad, you cannot have more than 20% of your graphic be text, or they penalize you with fewer views or no views or whatever their algorithm chooses to do to you that day. So what this was is basically a white graphic with a one-line question in black text. There was no image. The text was the image. And it grabbed my attention, so I clicked it. It turned out the person running the ad was a friend of mine because it had his picture plastered all over the front of the landing page. So I was like, well, damn, I could try and hack this guy's funnel, or I could just call him and ask him how it's going. So I called him up and I just casually said, hey, dude, I saw your ad. How's that going? And just like real offhand, instead of like, hey man, I really want to know how it's going. It was just kind of offhand conversational, just like guys do. And he told me he's slaying it. I was like, oh, dang. So needless to say, I'm adapting this technique to my existing knowledge about using questions in my ads, because I had been using pictures with text, but I had never to that point tried using a picture where the only thing in the picture was text. And we're getting cool results with that. So the truth about ads, number 4, ADA is BS. Now, what do I mean by that? What the heck is ADA? Well, ADA was and still is the gold standard advice for offline print advertising, and it's an acronym. So when people were writing ads for print, they would say ADA for catch their attention, build their interest, build their desire, and then drive them to action, which means basically you need to grab somebody's attention. You usually would do that with a headline. You would pique their interest, and you would often do that with a picture. And so sometimes people would see the picture, that would stop them. They would read the headline then and then keep going. You would amplify their desire with a promise, and then you would entice them to take action. Now, this was a perfect formula when you have to get someone up off their butt, get them in their car, and get them to go to your store. I am not saying that this doesn't work. What I'm saying is for online, you don't need it from my experience. Okay? Online, you don't need all that. It's BS online. Remember that I said the whole purpose of an online ad is to get the right people to click on your ad. That's it. That's the whole purpose. So you only need 3 steps. The first step is an attention grabber. Step 1 is an attention grabber. And you typically do this with a headline in a text ad or you do it with a picture in an image ad or a social media ad, or the first thing you do or show on the screen along with the first words that come out of your mouth in a video ad. So just think about that. We're going to grab their attention with either a headline if it's text, an image if it's social media. Let's take a time out here real quick. Think about Facebook. Think about Instagram. Think about Twitter. Think about LinkedIn. What makes you stop when you're scanning through those sites? It's not the headline, it's the picture. The picture is what grabs your attention on social media, not the headline. And when you're watching a video and you're deciding whether or not you're going to keep paying attention, your interest is measured really in the first 6 seconds of what's happening on that video. And if you don't believe me, just look at how Facebook measures the metrics of success when you're running video ads. They measure it in 3-second video views. So obviously what happens in the first 3 seconds of that video is the most critical part of that entire video. So whether people stick around or bail comes down to what you say and what you show in the first 3 seconds of that video. So step 1 is an attention grabber. Step 2, you can use emotion also to grab that attention. So you talk about payoffs or penalties. You talk about outcomes or obstacles. You talk about things they really want and or things they really don't want. You want to go after emotion when you're grabbing attention. You can't be in the middle. You can't play it safe. You can't try to be relevant to everyone. You've got to force people to make a decision, and you do that by giving them emotionally charged imagery, by using emotionally charged statements, by using emotionally charged headlines. Emotion is key. Then step number 2 is you have a curiosity body. And basically you show them a picture or you show them text designed to make them ask, what is this? Or how can they do that? And then the third thing is you have a call to action. You tell them to do this one specific thing. And 99% of the time online, it's click here to blank, whatever the blank is. So let me give you some examples because examples are important. So let's say your target audience is people who need help with financial planning. All right. So their desire, think about the desires of the people in that niche. Get total financial peace of mind. Get higher returns on your money. What's a problem they have? Knowing all the confusing financial jargon. Another problem they have, getting ripped off by inept financial advisors. And by the way, this is me. This is from me, also from research, but also somebody who has fired 3 financial planners over his life. And now his wife manages all his money and does a much better job with input from me, of course. So here's some example ad copy. 3 financial planning secrets every entrepreneur needs. Okay. Free webinar helps you achieve total financial peace of mind and get higher returns on your money without knowing all the confusing financial jargon. Register now. There you go. Want to get higher returns on your money? Take a look at this. What is this? Look at the question. Want to get blank? Want to get higher returns on your money? Take a look at this. If they say yes to the question, then they're going to be like, oh, shit, what is it? Get higher returns on your money without knowing all the confusing financial jargon or getting ripped off by inept financial advisors. That's me. That's me. I want higher returns on my money. Yeah, I want to see that. Click here now. Don't hate yourself for getting ripped off by inept financial advisors. What? Oh my God, I hated that last guy we had, or I hate this guy that we have now. What are we going to do? Free webinar reveals how to get higher returns on your money without having to become a full-time investment manager yourself. Oh, damn, I would love to know how to get higher returns on my money. Click here now. 3 small business financial planning secrets. I got a small business. What are they? You can laugh at financial planning problems if you follow this simple plan. Well, what's the plan? Click here now to find out. Oh man, I gotta click. Whether they want to click or not, they gotta click. So here's another one. Target audience is coaches who want to market better so they can find more clients. So their desire, get more coaching clients. Desire, make more money and enjoy more freedom as a coach. What's their problem? They're losing money on marketing. What's their problem? They're wasting time on prospects who won't actually sign up for coaching. So let's look at some example ad copy. 5 marketing secrets every coach needs. Now look at this. 5 blank secrets every blank needs. How could you apply that? I want you to think as you're looking at these examples, think about how you could just apply these simple proven formulas to your business. 5 ways to stop wasting time on prospects who will never sign up for coaching. Click here now. Now again, is this emotionally charged? Yes. Is this focusing in on something that they're having a problem with? Absolutely. And again, the whole purpose of this ad is to get somebody to click. How to get more coaching clients, how to get more blank, whatever they want, how to get more. Now, what would be another way to say this? Want to get more. Want more. Want more coaching clients? Want a higher return on your investment? Want whatever it is. 5 secrets to make more money and enjoy more freedom as a coach without wasting time on prospects who won't sign up. Click here now. Free report reveals 5 secrets to make more money and enjoy more freedom as a coach without wasting time on prospects who won't sign up for coaching. Click here now. Boom. The keys to a great ad that gets clicks from the right people. You use an emotional grabber. You make sure that you have a curiosity driver. And there's a very clear call to action. And now the truth about ads, number 5. It's just a numbers game. And this is why you fall prey to all of these things about writing amazing ads, because they tell you their ads get high returns and your ads obviously don't, or you wouldn't be considering responding to the ad. Here's the truth. Selling more and making more money online with ads is nothing more than a numbers game. From my experience, it can take between 10 and 50 ad tests to find one that works well enough to be profitable. The problem is most people stop before they find the one that works. In other words, they give up too soon. And you'll talk to people who are running ads and, oh man, I ran every ad under the sun. Well, how many different ads did you run? Well, I ran a bunch. Well, exactly how many campaigns did you run? A couple. Okay. And how many ads were there within each of those campaigns? 2. So they basically ran 2 ads and this shit doesn't work. That's what people will say. That's what happens. This is nothing more than a numbers game. I like to think of this like one of my favorite shows, which is Gold Rush, that I watch on Discovery Channel. And if you haven't seen it, you should, because it's a great metaphor for running online ads. What these guys do is they run tons and tons and tons of dirt from areas that they believe have gold in them. They've done tests, so they know there's gold, but then they run a ton of gold through these machines, through these processes, and then they extract the little bits of gold from everywhere. It's basically a giant sorting process. That's the whole idea behind the show. That's all your online ads are. It's a giant sorting process. These are the people I think are going to pay off for us. These are the ads I think they're going to respond to. So now I just have to run the ads to the people and see what happens. And if it works, I keep doing it. And if it doesn't work, then I test somewhere else. If the test is promising, then I run a bunch of dirt through my machine. So This thing right here, though, it can take between 10 and 50 ad tests, really isn't the greatest thing for people selling courses on ads to tell you, because they know that that sounds like work and nobody wants to buy work. So the best thing you can do is burn through those 10 to 50 ads as fast as you can. You eliminate the poopers and you find the few that convert really well, and then you scale those. That's the magic formula. I just boiled down everybody's $1,000 course on writing ads to write 10 to 50 ads using emotion and curiosity and driving people through, and run them, get rid of the ones that don't work, find the ones that do work, and scale the crap out of those. So the fact is, nobody ever runs one ad that has an instant hit. That's not how it works. So if you've tried to run ads in the past and failed, don't feel bad. Nobody knows, despite what they may tell you, which ads are going to work until they finish running all the ads that don't. And oh, by the way, you never finish. This is a never-ending process, because your ad isn't going to work forever, especially online. So I like to think of it this way. I got ads coming, I got ads going, and I got ads running right now. Think of it like a little a bucket brigade. I got ads I'm testing, I got ads I'm running, and I got ads on their way out the door that are losing their effectiveness. Don't get emotionally attached to that process. It's just how it works. In the old days, could you run a single ad in magazines and newspapers for years and years and years and be successful? Absolutely. Could you still do that today in print publications? Absolutely. But online, stuff has a very limited shelf life. So just because you got an ad that's working doesn't mean you get to retire next Tuesday, because you'll never have to do anything else but run that ad. You need to keep testing. You need to keep figuring out new angles and emotional hooks that you can use with your audience, because it's never over. So the thing you have to do in your copywriting mindset is understand that you want to fail fast and don't give up. I love to borrow a metaphor from the investing world. It's basically you cut your losers and you go long with your winners. That's basically what you're doing here. So don't get emotionally attached to the process. All right, copywriting secret. The single most valuable secret I ever learned. And in my opinion, this is the one that can change your life the most. People don't buy without a reason why. You need to burn that into your brain right now. People don't buy without a reason why. People don't buy without a reason why. People don't buy without a reason why. Say it with me. People don't buy without a reason why. So there are 10 reasons people buy. Are there other reasons? Maybe. I never really worried about it. And to be honest with you, I've only ever really worried about the first 5 reasons why people buy. But when I learned this, it literally changed my life. The light bulb went off. My brain expanded and just went because I now knew how to make people understand why they should buy and tie my product to their why. Because it gave me pegs on which to hang reasons for people to buy, literally. And most people, when they create sales copy, they only give prospects one reason to buy now. And usually it involves money. Saving money or making money. That's it. That if you think about how most people give people a reason, especially in the online business space or things like that, it's all about making money. And it can be about making money, but it's not all about making money. So this list, this 10 reasons why people buy, literally gave me a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch and more in my copy. So here you go. Here are the reasons, and we're going to talk about how you put this into practice quickly in your copy. The 10 reasons people buy are to make money, save time, avoid effort, escape pain, mental or physical, to get more comfort, to achieve greater cleanliness or hygiene, to attain fuller health, to gain praise, feel more loved, and to be popular or increase their social status. That's it. Make money, save time, avoid effort, escape pain. I committed those 5 to memory. I don't know why, but it just resonated with me so well that I burned it into my brain. Make money, save time, avoid effort, escape pain. Get more comfort, achieve greater cleanliness or hygiene, attain fuller health, gain praise, feel more loved, be popular, and increase social status. Those are the pegs that people tie stuff to when they're justifying buying. And so that's how you need to give them a why to buy. So the key here is to tie multiple reasons people buy, not just one. Because if you think about it like tying down something in a windstorm, if you just tie down one corner of it, a tarp or a covering of some kind, it's going to blow all over the place and it's not going to be under control. But if you tie it in 2, 3, 4, 5 places, all of a sudden you've got it right where you want it. So you do this by asking these types of questions about your product and getting creative with the answers. Okay, so I'm going to give you a list of questions now that you can ask about your product. And you might say to yourself, well, gee, this sounds like work. Well, I'll tell you what, putting in a little sweat, a little brain sweat now can translate literally into millions of dollars for you down the road. And it's a fun exercise to do. What are 5 ways my product or service will help them make money? How can I or my product or service help them save money over the next week, month, or year? How much time can I save them, and what else could they do with that time? What is something they don't have to do anymore once they get my product or service? And this is how you figure out how it helps them avoid effort. What physical pain do I eliminate for them, and what does that mean for their life and business? How does my product or service eliminate mental pain or worry for them? What are 3 ways I or my product can help them feel more comfortable? How does my product or service make it easier for them to achieve greater cleanliness or hygiene? How does my product or service help them feel more healthy or more alive? What are 3 ways my product or service is going to help them be the envy of their friends and feel more loved by their family? How will buying my product make them feel more popular and increase their social status? And if you take each one of those questions and you ask it, but you ask it honestly, anticipating an answer, you're going to be amazed at the results. Now I'm going to show you how to really put this on steroids. Force yourself to come up with 10 answers to each of those questions. Now I know your brain immediately exploded with like, oh my gosh, how could you even say that? I learned a technique from a mentor of mine years ago. It was a problem-solving technique. And he said, take the problem that you're trying to solve and write it at the top of a piece of paper. And then write solutions to that problem to fill up the entire piece of paper. And then go to the next page and fill that page up. And the reason you want to do that is because all the easy answers come at the first third of the page. Then, once you've exhausted the easy answers, you need to really dig in and start solving your problem and looking and thinking outside the box. And it's those answers in the lower 2/3 of the page, and then as far as you can get on the next page, that are going to contain the real solution that you're looking for. And so if you were to answer each one of these questions even 5 times, you're going to start seeing answers that aren't obvious. Of course, it's easy. I can say, for example, of course it's easy. They can make money because they can do this, and they'll feel more love because they're making more money. I mean, just all the stuff. But once you go beyond those 2, 3, 4 answers to each question that are easy, and you start really digging in and thinking about who your target audience is and who your target market is and what they really want and where they are in their life, that's where you're going to come up with copy bullets that once you write them, you're going to say to yourself, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's going to make a huge difference. So I want to challenge you to, number 1, take this list of questions, but number 2, also answer them multiple times so that you'll come up with answers that are going to make a huge difference in your business. So how do you use this secret? How do you use this list? Well, you can tie these reasons to your offers, to your headlines, to your stories, to your bullets, to your content topics, to your calls to action, to everything. It's a lens through which everything gets focused. It's all based on that. Because once you understand the why or the whys, then you can tie stuff to it that you wouldn't ordinarily do and that your competitors don't. So let's look at a few examples real quick, and we'll just say, okay, a protein shake. Well, how could we apply the 10 reasons people buy to a protein shake? Well, make money. Drink this protein shake in the morning. You're going to have an amazing amount of energy and you're going to be able to do better at your job and you'll probably get a raise. Save money. Our protein shake is 25% less expensive than the leader on the market, but it has superior ingredients. How about save time? With our protein shake, you can have a nutritious breakfast in 30 seconds so you can spend more time with your kids before you have to rush out the door. Now, I just tied that in with the feel more love, didn't I? Avoid effort. Again, you can have your breakfast made in 30 seconds and it's super, super yummy. Escape pain, physical or mental. Don't you hate feeling bloated all the time when you eat too much breakfast, or feeling like you're starving because you skipped breakfast? This solves that problem for you. To get more comfort, I don't know how this would help you get more comfort. Achieve greater cleanliness or hygiene. Hey, the great news is when you drink this protein shake, you're not going to have bad breath when you show up at the office in the morning. Attain fuller health. Drinking a protein shake every single morning is proven to help you lose weight and look great in your jeans. Gain praise and feel more loved. Again, you're saving time. You spend that more time with your family. Be popular, increase social status. Again, you lose weight. You look great. You're going to think of all the new friends you're going to make. So again, thinking that through just on a superficial level, and I don't sell protein shakes, so I would have to really dig in on that. Executive coaching program. It's easy to tie it to making money. Whatever you're teaching somebody how to do, hey, what we teach you here is obviously going to help you to do better in your job, get a promotion, or get recruited by another company. Save money. Again, you could spend twice as much on consultants to help you do this, but we're going to teach you how to do it. So again, avoiding effort, you don't have to figure this stuff out on your own. All you have to do is just do exactly what we tell you to do with our proven templates, and you're good to go. Escape physical pain, mental pain. What could an executive who's looking to do executive coaching, what would be a thing that they would be trying to do that would be causing them physical or mental pain? Spending too much time at the office and neglecting your family. Again, interesting how we tie mental pain to love and familial status. Where are they feeling pain, mentally or physically? You're spending too much time at the office. You're not able to spend time with your family. Little Timmy's starting to call the UPS guy daddy. That would suck. To get more comfort, well, you go to our executive coaching program. These are the top 1% achievers that enjoy all the benefits that go with having that corner office at a Fortune 500 company. Ooh, dang, that sounds good. If you want to work for a Fortune 500 company. Don't know about the greater cleanliness or hygiene. Attain fuller health. Okay, here you go. Attain fuller health. We're going to show you not only how to excel in your job, but to actually find balance in your life once and for all, including managing your health and your energy so that you can be even more of a high performer. Oh, dang, that's a good one. Gain praise and feel more loved. Again, we're going to show you to organize your time better so you're not staying at the office till 10 o'clock at night. You'll be able to go home and keep little Timmy from calling the UPS guy daddy. So let's look at a couple more. Dog training book, a real estate investment course, or a unicorn necklace. So dog training book, make money, save money. So, I would start with the save money. Learn how to train your dog yourself and avoid having to pay $50 an hour to somebody who probably isn't a certified professional. Avoid effort, escape pain. So maybe tied to the dog training book with the escape pain, an issue with the pain of dealing with a dog bite, either to yourself or to a neighbor. Now, you could really amp that up, escaping potential pain, with talking about a lawsuit that if your dog bites somebody, there's a real good chance you're going to get sued. This book will help you to train your dog properly and control aggression. Ooh, dang, I better buy that because I don't want to lose my house because little Fluffy bit the neighbor kid. So you can apply these to anything. Once you understand the reasons why, your job is simply to tie it to your product or your service or your software or whatever it is. So the bottom line is you need to identify the reasons why people buy your stuff, but you also need to really dig in and find more than just the obvious reasons that everybody else is using. And you need to tie your product to as many reasons why as you can. Get creative, get silly, get inspired, and do something that relaxes you and let your mind run wild. You might write 50 different things down or 100 different things, but if you find that one angle, that one unique why that nobody else is using that makes all the difference in the world or catches the attention, that's where understanding these 10 reasons why people buy can absolutely transform your copywriting and transform your copywriting mindset.